What's going on, man? Welcome to the very first episode of Broken Hoops Dreams podcast. From layups to layouts, former player, forever fan, your number one hoops connection. I'm your host, Daulton Brown, and just want to welcome you to the very first, highly anticipated, highly awaited episode of my podcast. Now, I'll save you the whole backstory and everything like that. I'll give you a brief summary of who I am a little bit later, but I just want to talk about, this podcast and what it brings and why you should even be entertained to listen. I spend all of my days during the basketball season watching basketball, tweeting my thoughts to a whole bunch of people from high school who don't care. I got a couple people here and there that interact with my stuff, but I figured it'd be better if I get my stuff out into the world in a community that appreciates my work and has time to actually, have discourse about it. So I want to talk about plans for this season. I do have side project plans for this season that are different than this podcast. So I'm wanting to do one episode per week or 2 weeks for the entire season, just recapping the NBA, talking about it, sharing my thoughts. If something happens, just do an emergency pod. And I guess this is the perfect time to shout out Kenny Beecham. I've been rocking with him since 2015. He's been a huge inspiration for this face to webcam podcast style. So not entirely stolen from him, but definitely heavily inspired by him. So shout out you, Kenny. The Kenny Beecham podcast is shooting up the charts. Shout out to you, bro. You're always hardworking, and obviously inspiring. But on this podcast, I plan to bring guests on throughout the season, to talk about and discuss various outlets in hoops, fashion, culture, and stuff of that nature, and maybe even potentially bringing on I'm not popping like that. I ain't got the credentials like that. So maybe bringing on a lower tier NBA player, to maybe interview, talk about, the business side of things, talk about the lifestyle of the NBA and professional ball and stuff like that. But as of right now, man, it's just me, this camera, you guys, me, word vomiting. I don't even have a script. I'm literally just have bullet points that over here that I'm reading off of, and whatever comes to my mind comes to my mind. So now I guess is a good time to tell you why me. Why should you listen to what I have to say? I mean, I hooped for 14 years of my life. I obviously didn't make it nowhere, which is why I'm doing a podcast. But former player, forever fan, I don't ever want to separate myself from the game of basketball because I am very passionate about it. And I do dedicate a lot of my time and just everything really to the game of basketball. And it genuinely brings me happiness and joy and gives me something to look forward to every single day. So I just want to, try this out. And it's not here for you guys to, I'm not here to clickbait. I'm not here to give hot takes. I'm just here to share my opinion. Whoever listens, listens. Whoever supports, supports. And that's that on that. But yeah, I'm on Twitter all day, bro. If you go to my Twitter and you just, check my likes, check my tweets, it's literally all basketball. So why not just talk to my camera? You know what I mean? So going back a little bit, I do plan to do a side project throughout the season where I do little reactions to Celtics games, whether that be 82 episodes, 83 regular season episodes if we make the the finals and the in-season tournament, or if it's 100 episodes and we win the championship. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter how many, but I want to give little reactions and just feedback and what I'm seeing through the eyes of a diehard fan. I've been a fan since 2005, never switched up through 25 and 57 seasons all the way to now, and I just realized my Tatum jersey is off the thing. Hold on. All right, oh my god. All right, hopefully I don't jinx it, but it looks good as of now. But as I was saying, man, a fan through thick and thin, through 25 and 57 seasons in Brad's first year to Jeff Green being our best player. I literally have a Jeff Green jersey. I have supported the Celtics for over half of my life, well over half of my life. I'm 25 now, been a fan since 05. Spent a majority of my life being a diehard Celtics fan. And I do want to shout out my jersey. My mom, I asked her to get me a custom jersey. She decided to do her own thing, put my last initial 02 on the jersey, but the jersey actually has 11 signatures on it, and IT signed it once he dropped 44 against Memphis. That was his career high at the time. So I was the only signature he gave after that game in Memphis. It was the OT. Never forget that a day in my life. So I'm excited to get this ball rolling. So let's do just that. So before I get into my predictions, I'm a huge stats guy. I love looking at stats, advanced stats, doing predictions, even if it's just like predictions on the games that day. Like, I am a huge numbers guy. I love numbers. So I'm gonna get into my predictions, but before I do that, I just want to preface that these predictions, these standing predictions, came before the Drew and Dame trades. So keep that in mind. I think it fits even better now after that trade, because low key I did it subconsciously with those trades in mind. But let's just look at the predictions. As you can see here, hopefully there's not a lot of shock. And for the people that aren't watching the YouTube video, if you want to see the on-screen, graphic, go to my YouTube channel. It's just Daulton Brown as of now, Daulton. Just type in the name of this podcast in YouTube and you should be able to get there. But I'll read the numbers out to you guys for the people that aren't watching the YouTube. So we're going to go over the Western Conference first. I think it's going to be a tie for the first seed, Denver and Phoenix, both going 55 and 27. I think the Nuggets looked really good today against the Lakers. Anthony Davis looked atrocious in the second half, but I'm going to try and not bring today's games into these predictions because, like I said, they were before, but Denver looks really good. So I'm not mad after the very first, the initial reaction to having them on the at the top of the standings. But at the 3 seed, I have the Sacramento Kings, and those are the only 3 50-plus win teams in the West that I have going into this season. I think the Clippers are going to be a top 4 seed, 48 and 34 for them. I'm really high. I don't know if they get James Harden. I really don't know if they get James, but I'm high on Russ. I'm still high on PG and Kawhi. I know a lot of people are questioning Kawhi's ability to not only be healthy, but to defend, which is the craziest thing I've seen on Twitter. Saying Kawhi's defense is actually, for the first time in his career, questionable. Which is beyond me. Maybe they're trolls and I just fell for it. Congrats, but that is the most abysmal thing that I've seen. If anything, his defense will be the one thing that is fluent. But moving on, the Memphis Grizzlies, I think that the Ja Morant suspension is going to have a lot more impact than people think. And this was before the Steven Adams injury status. So he's out for the entire year, which is a huge knock because now you have Jaren Jackson, who just fouled out in a preseason match in 20 minutes. We all know that he's a liability defensively as far as fouling goes. So don't clip that out of context because he literally just won Defensive Player of the Year. But liability wise, being in foul trouble is a very, very big, issue for him. So without Steven Adams there, it's people. I'm already seeing AI generated pictures of him as barbecue chicken. You know what I mean? With a jersey on him. So it's going to be interesting. But I think that they still are a top 5 seed in the West. Whenever Ja comes back, he's going to play with a chip on his shoulder. 46 and 36 is where I have them. 44 and 38 are going to be the other team. Is going to be the other team in LA, the Lakers. I think that they do go positive again. I think they have a positive record. I think they secure a playoff spot. They won't have to fight for it in the play-in, which brings me to my 4 play-in teams. I got the Warriors, Pelicans, Mavericks, and Thunder at 7, 8, 9, and 10, respectively. I think the Thunder barely squeeze in 41 and 41. The Mavs also have the 41 and 41 record, but they have the tiebreaker over the Thunder. The Timberwolves miss out. Call me crazy. The Jazz miss out. Spurs, Rockets, Trailblazers to round out the bottom. The Jazz 35 and 47, Spurs 25 and 57, Rockets 24 58, and the Trailblazers 17 and 65. I don't think that Van Vliet and Dillon Brooks move the Rockets into a play-in contention as of right now. If they do, you can come back to this and you can, roast me on Twitter. You can do whatever you want to do. But I genuinely don't think Dillon Brooks and Fred Van Vliet are going to push you past that obstacle. You know what I mean? That push you to that next level to be in playoff contention. I'll get into the playoffs after this, so don't worry about that. I haven't done them yet, so they will be fresh on the podcast, fresh and new on the podcast. We'll do playoffs after. So Eastern Conference, we got maybe a little biased. That Tatum jersey does not want to stay up for anything. Maybe a little biased, 60-22, only 60-win team in my predictions. But I after the Drew trade, I feel a lot more comfortable, and I won't get into a deep dive in the Celtics and how the bench is better than people think, and stuff like that. But I do think the Celtics have the best roster in the NBA, and I'm seeing people not rank them in the top 3. The power rankings have them at what did ESPN just have them at? 3? But other people are not ranking them higher. Stephen A doesn't think JT and JB are a top 5 duo in the league. Top 5. You can't name me 5 duos better. I won't get into that. I just said I wasn't going to get into that. The Bucks coming in at second. Freaky time, 56-26. Their starting 5, man, it's not looking the best. I mean, whenever you have Pat Connaughton in your starting 5, it's a little scary. Like I said, I won't get into the deep dive into teams. 50-32, the Cavs. So 3 50-plus win teams in the East as well. I think the Cavs are going to be a shock, should I say, to people. I think they're going to be a lot better with with another year of DG, another year of Jarrett, another year of Mobley. I think they're going to be a lot better than people are expecting them to be. The Sixers are up and down, man. I mean, we're seeing Harden put up a masterclass of not giving any sort of care. I'm gonna try and keep this podcast PG because I don't want to lose any monetization or anything like that. Potential monetization and stuff like that. And plus my family may watch it. I mean, if they listen to my music, they'll hear it regardless, but I want to keep this somewhat PG. My Twitter's not PG at all, so if you want to, see how I truly feel without any censorship, go to my Twitter. But Philadelphia is a team that can either be a certified playoff team or really a play-in team. We've seen the Knicks be really verbal about in public about their trade offer for Joel Embiid if it gets to that point. But it gets to a point where does Daryl Morey, where does he break the battle of I don't care? Because right now it's Daryl Morey and James Harden, and I know there's been a couple articles come out that says James been in Houston taking care of his mom who's ill, and if that is the truth, all prayers and well wishes go out to him and his family. But we've seen him not show up for training camp. We've seen his agent say he's not going to show up for training camp. You know what I mean? So it's like, I can't put 100% faith into that's what's really going on. But if it is, of course, stuff bigger than basketball. I hope everything works itself out. Hopefully she becomes healthy, stuff like that. And that's a sincere thing. But who knows where Harden will go? I still think Harden is an elite player in the league. He just led the league in assists last season. He doesn't have to go and give you 40, 50 a night. He had a historic 30-point run that we haven't seen in years. He's an elite level offensive player, and there's not a lot of those in the league. Next, we have the Knicks, 46-36. I think the Knicks bringing in the Villanova bunch is going to really, really help Brunson, and I think it makes life easier for Julius Randle. I'm not saying that his game will statistically be better, but I think his life will just be a bit easier because you have those extra options now. You're not the only person that has to put up a triple-double, that has to put up 30, has to, hit every single big shot. And we've seen since the signing Jalen Brunson, the potential that he can tap into and really reach that, potential all-star play. So the Knicks are a very interesting team. but not as interesting as the team across the bridge from the Brooklyn Nets. Also 46 and 36. I have them at the 5 and 6 seed tie. Knicks get the tiebreaker here. But the Nets with Ben Simmons, I didn't want to believe the preseason hype videos, the workout videos, but he looked decent in the preseason. He looked like somebody that is eager to prove people wrong. I know the whole debacle last season, he didn't want to come in, and there was what ifs about his chemistry, stuff like that. Which is fair. We saw similar to Zion say he didn't want to come back during the playoffs because of whatever the case may be. He said also he didn't want to just jump in the team, but Ben looks happy, and that's huge. I was an elite level Ben Simmons hater just because he was a Philly guy. And I can't root for anybody on Philly as a Celtics fan, except Ricky Council, even though he just got cut. Shout out Ricky Council, former Arkansas Razorback. So hopefully he gets a job somewhere soon. He's very athletic. He can hoop. So, but yeah, the Nets are somebody who Mikal Bridges is actually looking like, after the trade last season, looking like an all-star perennial. No, I'm not going to say it, but he looked amazing. Pause. So the Nets are very interesting. I think the Chicago Bulls are going to figure it out. I put it in quotations because they're not going to figure it out and win a championship, but they're going to put it together and play well, or at least better than we've seen. With a team of Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and Vucevic, they should be performing better than they have, especially with Debo and LaVine. Those are two of the better players in the league at the 2 and 3. So it's been very underwhelming, and I know Bulls fans are, coping hard over the past few seasons because they don't know where the hell, what's going on here, where the direction's going. But I think they quote unquote figure it out and make the play in at 43 and 39. The Heat, on the other hand, I think they barely scathed by, make the play in by one game, 41 and 41. The other play-in teams, Atlanta Hawks and Indiana Pacers, 40 and 42 each. I think the Heat are a team that is desperately in need of a trade, in need of another piece. They lost Max Strus, they lost Gabe Vincent, they lost, key people and players that kept their playoff hopes alive. I mean, Gabe Vincent single-handedly destroyed the Celtics. Him and Martin. You know what I mean? So they need a point guard. They need, they need another wing guy. Maybe Tyler Hero takes a step. I don't know. But I think they have to make a move in order to really contend. And it's funny because we said this last season. We said this last season and the season before. The Heat aren't serious. They aren't doing this with what they have now. Who knows? They have something magical going on in Miami, and it's not fair. No, I'm playing, but we'll see. Like I said, though, the Hawks 40 and 42. The Pacers are going to be extremely fun. I'm a huge Halliburton fan. I think the Pacers have a really good core, and they're extremely fun. So that's a positive as well. Teams that don't make the playoffs: Toronto Raptors 39 and 43, Orlando Magic 38 and 44. Shout out Anthony Black, Arkansas guy. Detroit Pistons 33 and 49, Charlotte Hornets 31 and 51, and to round it out, the Washington Wizards win a whopping 20 games and lose 62. So that will round out the standing predictions. Let's move on to the season awards. We're going to start with the heavy hitters. You've seen it up there this whole time. Let's talk about it. MVP Jason Tatum, totally not biased. Runner-up Giannis. Defensive Player of the Year, I got Evan Mobley for the Cavs. Runner-up, also Giannis. I mean, Giannis is a guy that's going to be top 3 in both of those categories every single year. So, most improved player, I think it goes to Mikal, simply because he has so much more confidence going into this season. And I think he really, really gained the trust of the staff and the higher, the front office of Brooklyn. to really take the keys. I know you still have Ben Simmons, but Ben Simmons is a lot better as the playmaker, as the floor general. So I think Ben Simmons is going to make Mikal Bridges even better. Being that pass first guy that he is, I think Mikal Bridges will shine even brighter under that. And I think Mikal Bridges wins the MIP. I mean, crazy. Runner-up Jordan Poole. And I even put a third finalist up there, Tyrese Maxey. And I put Tyrese Maxey up there only because if James Harden gets traded. If James Harden doesn't get traded, I don't have Maxey up there. But if he does get traded, Maxey's for sure up there. Sixth man of the year, Emmanuel Quickly. Shout out to Emmanuel. I'm a big fan of him. Runner-up Bobby Portis. I really wanted Bobby to be the winner here, but I just think that IQ is more fitting. And I don't know. I like him in New York and what he's got going better than Bobby. And I'm a biased Bobby Portis fan as a former Arkansas guy. Rookie of the year, clearly Victor Wembanyama. I mean, I can't go against the hype. I can't. I watched what he did in preseason. He looked abnormal. He is abnormal. I think Victor is going to win Rookie of the Year. It's not the craziest thing to say. Runner-up being Chet. Third finalist being Scoot. But don't discredit no discredit to either of the Thompson twins. Huge fan of the Thompson twins. No discredit to them. I just think this is a very stacked class. All-Star MVP, Devin Booker. He just seems like the guy to care about that type of award. So I gave it to Devin Booker. Coach of the Year, Joe Mazzulla. Runner-up, Ty Lue. Like I said, huge on the Clips. I really firmly believe that the Clippers can compete. My ideal finals is a Clippers versus Celtics finals. That would just be pure basketball, and it would just be art to me, at least. I love the way that the Clippers, clip gang or don't bang. I love just like the whole culture that they've set over there. I'm a little bit biased because I watch a lot of Podcast P, Paul George podcast. So I see a lot of insight of the Clippers, locker room and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not saying I'm special. You can go and watch it and figure it out. But I really like the Clippers. I think they are my favorite team in the West. Not saying that to say that I have another favorite team, because I don't. Celtics guy through and through, but they are a team that I really enjoy watching. Eastern Conference Finals MVP, Jason Tatum. Western Conference Finals MVP, KD. Now, a Suns Celtics Finals would be also very, very fun and chaotic and cinematic, I feel like. Finals MVP, Jason Tatum. I got him winning the in-season tournament too. I forgot to put that on there. I think the Celtics sweep their group easily, and it's not a question. I think they make easy work of that, and the Celtics won the in-season tournament. My former pin tweet on my Twitter is predictions, Celtics win. I think I said 66 games originally. I think I said 66 and 16, which is crazy, but I mean, we have the best starting lineup in almost ever, I feel like. And that may be me being biased. It probably is, but it's an objectively known fact that the Celtics have the best starting five in the league and maybe the best five ever. But moving on, I want to go over very quickly NBA City Edition jersey review, because I put a lot of time and effort into this, and I don't think it should only just be on Twitter. So let's just take a look at this, man. The Atlanta Hawks, I rated everything out of 10, and everything from color schemes to fonts to placement, everything like that, it went into consideration. So the colors are everything in the jersey. I really love the colors. The baby blue and the cream really works, but they definitely use a default Microsoft font. And I don't like that at all, especially because it clashes with the last name. If the last name, go crazy, bro. Do something different. We want to see different jerseys, and different as in not out of the box, just completely on another world, but just something a little bit different. And a lowercase last name on the back of a jersey is not the craziest thing in the world. Change it up a little bit. Everybody does the big uppercase block letters. Change it up a little bit. It would be 7 out of 5, 7.5 out of 10 rather, if it matched this font. Because even though the font in itself is bad, it would look a lot better if the numbers on the, or if the letters on the back were lowercase as well. But 4 out of 10 for me. The Celtics bring back the white variant since 3 years. But they made it cream. They made it off white. They bring back the gold in the jerseys. Since the gold and green shamrock, I forget the year before this, and 4 years ago. Oh my God! Can you tell it's 5 a.m. and I've been talking for well over an hour, even though this episode has only been 30-ish minutes so far. I'm tired. Unbiased, this is a beautiful jersey. The gold is beautiful on the sides. The font is insanely beautiful. I love it. The Celtics went different. The first time you've ever seen this font on a Celtics jersey, which is a very nice touch. 8.5 out of 10. Okay, so the Nets jerseys had so much potential, but as you can tell, what the blank are these? Is it camo? Is it abstract art? Is it just randomly assorted? I don't like it. The font has mad potential. The Nets font, with it being cause and everything. But this just looks like a 2K My Team created jersey, and it's not hitting for me. 3.5 out of 10, and 3 of those points is from the font and just the bare fact that it's cause making the jerseys. Now, this is how you do a jersey. The Charlotte Hornets, 9 out of 10. With the exception of 2021 and 22 season, the Hornets have always done city jerseys right. This one is just sexy. I may actually have to cop a Nick Smith Jr. jersey. Shout out another Arkansas guy, even though he didn't really care to play for Arkansas. He's still an Arkansas guy, born and raised in Arkansas. So this jersey, it just feels elegant. It feels fancy. It just feels like money. It feels like, I don't know, just elegance. 9 out of 10 for Charlotte. Chicago Bulls, this is maybe the worst jersey on the list. It's definitely not, but it's up there for contention for worst. It's lame, bland, unenthusiastic. No one cares to see the jersey debuted. Nobody cares to see anybody on that team hoop in his jersey. 1.5 out of 10. It just sucks. It's a bad jersey. An objectively bad jersey. Cavs. When I initially watched the unveiling, they did the whole unveil or reveal, I think in the stadium, a lot of people in the crowd were, not the most pleased with it. And I wasn't either, to tell the truth. But now that I've seen this up close, it does not look as bad as I thought it did. It didn't move me at the time, but the jersey as an entire piece, even though it's not the best, I think this jersey has really nice parts to it. It has really nice aspects to it. So the jersey trim and the number font are insanely aesthetically pleasing, and I love to look at that itself. So I give those two alone 6.6 and a half out of 10 for the Cavs. The Mavs just didn't get it right. Logo looks too small. Curl the S makes the jersey look off-centered. It just doesn't give me any other emotion than So 4.5 out of 10 for the Mavs. The Nuggets, their city jersey is currently competing for the worst of all time. Worst jersey of all time. Seriously, who approved this? This is atrocious. Whoever made this, I made a joke on my Twitter. Like, please go to my Twitter, because I'm trying not to, curse on the podcast itself. But I said whoever made this would die behind CrossFit for real. This is the defending champions we're talking about. Lol. Absolutely terrible jersey. 1 out of 10. I mean, it's terrible. It's horrible. It's ugly. It doesn't work. It doesn't fit. It doesn't. Yeah. Detroit Pistons, a team that gets jerseys right. I can't get over this jersey. It hits every aesthetic in the right way. The Detroit logo on the font, the red trim, the number color being gray. The shout out to the Bad Boys Pistons era with the basketball bones on the side. I said whoever is the artistic director behind Pistons unis needs a raise. 9.5 out of 10. The Golden State Warriors, atrocious. I can't tell if the San Francisco was worse or that dumb number placeholder in the middle of the jersey. Genuinely a bad jersey. Number font fire, though. 2 out of 10. There's not really much else that moves me. The Houston Rockets would have had a lot higher rating on this list had it been original. This looks like the Houston Heat. Completely jacking the white classic Heat jerseys. But admittedly, it does work. D minus for originality, B plus for aesthetic, 6.75 out of 10. Like I said, it would be higher because that jersey is really nice, but it just lacks uniqueness. The Indiana Pacers. This looks like the jersey for a high school paintball team. The blue is ugly. The yellow looks like spilled mustard. I genuinely can't see a team of grown men playing professional basketball in these. But I guess I will have to eventually, right? 2 out of 10. I mean, genuinely, this is a bad jersey for me, at least. I wouldn't buy a jersey. I can't see people in a crowd wearing this jersey. Maybe kids. It's not a good jersey. Now the Clippers. I don't know the story behind the jersey, so I'm judging solely off the looks. The Clippers have never done this color before. This dark, like Washington Wizards blue navy, it looks like. But it works. It's simple. It's sleek, calm. The basketballs are like a super nice finishing touch on the bottom and in the middle of the clips, like the dot on the eye. 7.75 out of 10. The Lakers. This is a very unsettling jersey. The most unsettling part about it is the purple trim on the jerseys. If it was yellow, it would look a lot better. But the purple just like really clashes with the logo itself, and it doesn't really work for me. It would have looked better all yellow, with the numbers purple and the the number on the back purple as well. But the jersey kind of just blows. 3.5 out of 10 for me. The Grizzlies went super simple. Like I said, I use the analogy of like 3 p.m. on Sunday and forgot I had a project due at school tomorrow. Simple. I dislike them more than I like them, just because it doesn't feel like a lot of thought went into it. The Memphis logo is kind of cool, but it's too simple for me. 4.9 out of 10. Yeah, I dislike it more than I like it. Miami Heat. Terrible jerseys. I appreciate the attempt, but it's like a huge run-on sentence across the chest of the jersey. They're definitely different, but different isn't always good. These are not good jerseys. 2.5 out of 10. The Bucks pissed me off a little bit, I'm not gonna lie, because the idea is there. There was so much potential in his jersey, but it was all wasted. The blue shimmer in the jersey is unnecessary. You don't need it. The lime edges are atrocious. Why? Why add lime to a cream and 2 different color blue jersey? Why? Why do it? I don't even like the reason why the Bucks use blue. The Bucks use blue to show respects to the law enforcement. And I don't even really like that. I feel like the Bucks should not be blue to like openly support the law enforcement, in Milwaukee is just kind of crazy to me. 2 out of 10 for me. A lot of wasted potential. The cream and blue, like the arch here. Like I said, if you're only listening, please go to YouTube and watch the arch here. The cream with the blue, Milwaukee in the middle, fire, super fire. But the shimmer doesn't work, and neither does the lime. Now this is how you do a jersey, man. The Minnesota Timberwolves got it for me. This is how you do a creative jersey. This is how you do it. It's very representative of the land that you're on. You're capitalizing on it even. You get the aesthetics right. It's literal art. It's literally so pleasing to look at. And I said on Twitter that I'm copying a Mike Conley jersey. I'm a huge Mike Conley fan. I met him at the University of Arkansas. His dad ran track. He was like a track goat. And he was at a random meet whenever I was in college. Met him there. Super chill. He's with his fam. 9.5 out of 10. So I got a cop of Mike Conley jersey. The Pelicans, at first, it pissed me off. At first, it genuinely pissed me off. And the only reason it changed for me was because it feels like Halloween, and we're here at Halloween. You know what I mean? They went for the whole Mardi Gras colorway, hiding the purple outlines inside, like the script and the number. And they just full scented on the neon lime green, and it's not as bad as the Heat jerseys. And the colorway works, but it's just, I don't know. The Timberwolves tried this. Didn't work there either. The lime is just it's not good for basketball, I don't feel like. The Knicks jersey is so beautiful to me. The pinstripes, the drop shadow New York, the double logo. It's like, I love 95% of the jersey, but the 5% being the useless dark gray stripe on the sides, didn't ruin it for me, but it did withhold it from being like a 9.75. Because like this jersey is beautiful with the NYC Nike logo. This jersey is beautiful. Very, very beautiful. The Oklahoma City Thunder. My original thought was, what the hell? I want to hate this, but I can't. The collage in the jersey itself is pretty awful, but the orange-yellow color scheme is like top tier. It's actually so fire. 7 out of 10 for the Thunder. The Magic may have the best jersey in the city jerseys. Pinstripes, the star logo, the font, the color scheme, the chromatic color scheme. I'm definitely copying an Anthony Black jersey. If you're seeing this, AB, hit me up, bro. Hook me up, bro. Let me get a custom game-worn jersey, bro. I'm a huge Arkansas fan. I'm, a huge fan of you, bro. Pause. But I give my flowers where it's deserved, bro. I need one of these jerseys. 9.5 out of 10. The Sixers, no. Doesn't work. It's hideous. Looks misplaced and unorganized. It's just a bad jersey. Any jersey that you have small font where you have to, like, if I'm watching a game and I have to squint at the screen to see the jersey and see what it says, it's a bad jersey. It's a bad jersey. The Phoenix Suns. I'm not going to lie, these look like WNBA jerseys. The gradient in the numbers is cool. And they bring back the teal, the turquoise to represent like the natives. That's dope, but it's just too much color, bro. It takes the seriousness out to me. I can't see KD dropping 40 and hitting a buzzer beater in these, like, in all seriousness. But for show and tell, they're cool. 5.1 out of 10. The Trailblazers would be so much higher on this list if it wasn't plaid. Why is this plaid? Why do we have plaid on an NBA jersey? If these weren't plaid, I would rate them so much higher. The plaid for real ruins it for me. 6 out of 10. Other than that, though, potential's there, bro. The Kings went with the classics. Can never go wrong with classics. What I love most about these are the logos in the bottom of the jersey showing respect to the franchise history. You see all the different crowns. There's 8 there, I believe. 8.75 out of 10. Those are super, super dope. I just wish the Kings was a little bit more down. Feels like it's like snugged up right there next to the Nike logo, but 8.75 out of 10. Now the Spurs, the colorway is insane. It's amazing. The number font may be the best out of the group. Number font's 10 out of 10 itself. I just wish that the name itself was just a little bit bigger. Nonetheless, the jersey is very nice, very clean. 8 out of 10. The brown, orange, red, it just works, bro. It looks really good. Now, the Toronto Raptors, I think, have the best jersey. The aura potential, the aura potential on the OVO gold is astronomical. And I know that the Dick jerseys are going to pollute the frat houses for decades. 9.75 out of 10. The gold and gray and pinstripe is just, it works. Now, the Purple Mountains forever solidified in the NBA Jersey Hall of Fame. The Utah Jazz got it right again. Their base jerseys are the worst in NBA history. They look like YMCA jerseys. But the city jerseys got it. I'm not going to lie. Another year of Purple Mountains, but it works. Again, a modernish twist to a classic jersey. Can't go wrong again. 9 out of 10. Last but definitely least, you can see my boy Maury here. Who the hell is designing this? Last definitely least, these Dungeons and Dragons uniforms. Like, what is this? Medieval jerseys, bro. They suck. 1.25 out of 10. It's too much. It's too much going on, bro. This looks like something that somebody on Etsy would make, bro. Like, respectfully. Like, I don't know. This is terrible. It's a terrible jersey, but all right, man. That is a lot for the first episode. I just wanted to get this out there before it got too deep in the season. Like I said, man, it's covering the plans for the season. What to expect. This first video is definitely a little rough. It took me a while to set it up. I went over so many takes before. I'm exhausted. I can barely keep my eyes open. But yeah, I just want to conclude with, please go follow me on Twitter, bro. That's where I do a lot of my stuff. That's where you'll see initial reactions, stuff like that before I start recording on the pod. So, and go follow my Twitter at Daulton Brown, DAULTON. And that's it, man. I hope you enjoyed the first episode. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Do what you got to do, man, to support me. Would appreciate it. And if not, that's cool too, man. We can keep it pushing. But I'm always available to talk about anything NBA. Hit me up. Hit my line. Hope you guys enjoyed. This has been the first episode of the Broken Hoops Dreams podcast. From layups to layouts. Former player, forever fan. Your number one hoops connection. I'm Daulton Brown. Signing out, man. Peace.